Now they decide to rate each of the solutions on a scale of 1 to 5. And they put the grades here. You see two columns. The first column is the simple grade, and the next column is the grade times the weight. Is it clear for you? Here you can't see colors, but actually there are different colors here. I can turn this around for those who are close. Okay? So if we take the number 16, you can see 16 in the matrix?
Yes.
So what does that mean? That 16 is 4 times 4, the weight. That means that you check the cell. It actually crosses surfers with travel. It's the cost of the flight ticket for surfers. And it got 4 as a score. The other destinations 2 and 3. What does that mean for this destination in terms of travel? Is it the cheapest or the most expensive?
The cheapest.
The cheapest, yes, because it got a higher score than the other one, so it is the cheapest. So that's how we use the decision matrix. And afterwards we total what we got. And finally you can see that the decision score, 36 is the highest. The decision matrix tells them to go to Bali. Okay. Why not? So here are a few other examples of decision matrices. They use the same principle. So I have only 5 minutes left, so I would like, well, I had an activity but no time for this. It was only, but you can skip it. Or if you're interested, I can give that to you and you could practice it. It's a table with 3 loan options and the criteria to compare the loan options from the perspective of a manager. They already decided on the criteria on the weight. They want to choose one option, loan option. So they collected information about each of the criteria and they need to just fill in the decision matrix with the grades in order to see which loan option will be the winner. So that's how that works. If you're interested in that, you would like to share your results with me, you can send them to me by email. I would be overjoyed to give you my feedback. Just try it out. Okay. So the final tool, it's a very short one, and we use it only if people can't agree on the criteria, which means different department heads, directors, each one of them has their different priorities, so they can't agree on the criteria and the weight. So they use the multiple tool. So it's a group decision-making tool with this initial capital of points. Each person, the voters, have a capital of points to start with, and they distribute it over the solutions. So that's all. But there are several variants. So if you want to analyze this example, how many people are voting on budget priorities? Here are the different options they want to compare. How many people are voting? No. No. How many people are voting? 4. Yes, it's the number of different colors. And the number, how much capital did each person get? 3. So this is how that works. Each person gets the same capital and then distribute it over the solutions. But what's interesting in multi-voting is that you can adapt the rules. For example, here there are no rules. You can put all your capital on one solution, and somebody else will separate to give 1 point each time. But there are situations when you can't do that. For example, here the evaluators, they had a capital of 6 points, but they needed to distribute it differently at each time. 3, 1, 2. So they needed to give different scores to each of the solutions. They can't put all their capital on one solution. There are different ways of doing it. So I think that's it. The others are just other examples. You could also use multi-voting in rounds, in different rounds. If you start with too many ideas at the beginning, so you could do it gradually. And the more you go in the rounds, the less capital you get. At the beginning they had a capital of 4, then the second round is only 3, and then 2, and then 1, until they figure out which solution is consensual. Well, just remember this as a conclusion. If you want to be a better problem solver, these are the main takeaways I invite you to keep in mind. State the problem as a gap. Define the problem thoroughly with lots of questions. Choose stakeholders. Analyze the root causes if they are not visible. Generate several alternatives, don't stick to one. And select your preferred solution based on objective criteria. And thank you very much for your attention. Thank you.